All right, guys, so this is my favorite section of the whole book because I've fallen in love with open houses lately. It is our open house guide, and here we kind of share little nuggets on what we actually do for open houses and how that's been treating us. The section kind of just starts explaining pretty much everything that you need to know as far as like knowledge goes. So it's really important, whatever open house you're doing, just make sure that you've kind of taken the time to do the research in the surrounding areas. That's the very first thing I would highly recommend to do. Assuming you guys have booked the open house, and I'm kind of skipping ahead, but we'll backtrack there in a second. But pretty much just making sure that you're aware of everything surrounding it that's been active or sold within the last 90 days or whatever it may be. Just take that extra little time to do that research because it's huge and you're going to look so knowledgeable when you're doing these open houses. So backtracking it, how we actually get open houses, obviously we're, like we had mentioned before in previous videos, if you're on a team, most likely your team will have some open houses for you to do, but if for whatever reason they don't, sometimes sellers don't like people doing open houses for them anyways. But if your team doesn't have an open house for you to do, then it is highly recommended that you go on the MLS and you find another one yourself. Honestly, there's a lot of outside agents also sometimes that have open houses, or I'm sorry, listings that they're gonna totally be open with you guys doing open houses for. So I always try to attack those. There's a lot of brokerages that don't allow outside agents to hold them, but obviously the first step would be hitting up your company, making sure that nobody within your company is in need of an open house that weekend. I always start to try to attack them on Mondays just because I get first dibs. If the house did go up, let's just say on a Friday, I want to do the open house even if it's the following weekend. The second weekend is still really good. The first weekend is by far the best. Because as soon as the listing goes up, it's like the hottest thing ever. So you really want to try to do the open houses the very first weekend. Second weekend is still okay. Even third weekend is still fine. I've done open houses that have been on the market months, and it just takes one person to get in there and make your time worthwhile. So don't feel like if you are new and you can't find like a first week or second week open house, don't not do them just because they're a month old. Get out there still, do it. Sometimes they do price drops too. I've done a lot of those where like they'll drop the price and then I want to be the one that's doing the open house that weekend after they drop it. That's huge too. It's technically kind of like a new listing. Those are easier to get to, but you simply just go on the MLS and you backtrack. So you pick your target area and then you just say, within the last 7 days, what has been listed. And then it shows up a list of like all the new homes within the last week. And then you just start texting them. And I set on this section, there's examples of like what my text messages look like. I'd say maybe 90% of the time, 95% of the time, they're gonna say no. Sometimes they'll be nice, sometimes they won't be nice. But at the end of the day, it's again a numbers game, and eventually one will say yes. So there's probably only been maybe like 2 weekends out of this year, and we're already pretty much in March, where or not weekends, but maybe one day I didn't get an open house as much as I tried. But again, I'm pretty sure if I've even backtracked 2 months or so, I probably could have gotten one, but I was just not feeling it. But for you guys, since you're really new, I say no excuses. Go as far back as you can, but obviously start with the 7 days and then work your way up if you really can't. Berkshire Hathaway and like Sotheby's, I know Compass is now doing it, but a lot of them won't let outside brokerages hold their open houses. So once you kind of are aware of who lets you do what, you won't waste your time asking them. But I literally just copy and paste a text message, and then I send them my card, and I just ask them nicely if they're willing for me to open it, or if they need help with it. But that's kind of how I book it. I always try to book every single weekend to do an open house. It's honestly just a couple hours out of your day. I know signs suck putting them up, but it is what it is, and we're in the business. And nowadays, anyways, the generations are kind of knowing about everything online and through social media, so signs are just kind of maybe like secondary now versus back in the day, like signs were everything. But you don't need to put as many signs up anymore. Most people, and I know this because I asked them how did they get to my open house, and they always say it was online. So don't stress out too much about the signs, but definitely put signs out there 100%. Like, especially if it's on a busy street, like attack that street. Like, you want to put a good amount of signs out on like popular corners if it is. Obviously, if it's like in the boonies through the back and whatever, it's unnecessary. So be a good judge of that. But that's kind of how we start this section off, is just really just learning how to first book them. Nanak can vouch for me, but it is kind of hard to get them. So I would say definitely invest a couple hours every day, Monday through Thursday, up until you get your whole weekend booked up. Sometimes I would do 2 open houses. I would do one from like 10 to 1 and then 2 to 5. You know, I don't have anything else to do. So if you're a new agent and you don't have anything else to do, stop being lazy and get out there and do 2 open houses a weekend, because it is going to pay off. Consistency and everything really matters. And again, it's a numbers game. So the more people that you meet during these open houses, the better. And if you really target one area also, those people are always going to remember you. So if they walk into one open house and then they see you again the second house, it's like extra brownie points. Like, the chances of them going with you are even higher. So that's how you get them. Now, once you're in there, and now do you want to talk about Spacio?
Yeah, so one of the things that we really like to use, probably the biggest or most important app that we use, is called Spacio, I don't know how you say it, but it's an open house app. It's really modern. It goes straight onto your iPad. I know when you first started, if you don't have an iPad or whatever, it's not in the budget, it's totally fine. We definitely made sure we had people sign in just manually. So name, phone number, and email. So if you don't have an iPad, don't worry. Still make a sign-in sheet and have that there. But if you do have an iPad, download this app. It's $25 a month. I know there's some free versions out there too. But we like this one because it's super customizable. It plugs in directly to your CRM. So once they type in their information, it goes straight to Follow Bosses, which what we use. So we really like Spacio. It sends them an email right away. It's nice and clean, so we love that app. So definitely check it out if you guys have an iPad. But yeah, one of the biggest things I think is getting people to sign into your open houses. I know it's probably the most like nerve-wracking part about open houses is like asking people for their information. But one way that we do like to do it is, we just say it's for security purposes, or, the seller asks that everyone signs in. So if you can please sign in, that would be greatly appreciated. Some people will just like not have it. So I won't like force anyone to sign in, but like I will definitely ask them for sure.
Yeah.
But if they're like being rude about it or whatever, there's nothing really you can do. Just kind of whatever.
Yeah. At first I was like super aggressive with them signing in, but then I found myself wasting time, because it's like, if you're going to force someone to sign in, they don't even want to hear it. Like that day, they're not going to want to hear it the next day. So it's like even just inputting them in my system and then like going through the calls, getting bashed on, and then like deleting them was super not worth it. So as you do them, you're going to kind of get a feel of a solid lead versus not. And through time, it just gets better. So it is really weird at first to like make somebody sign in, but you literally just hand them, if you just have a sheet of paper and you're making them sign in, just be like, hi, thank you so much for coming to my open house. Could you guys please sign in? Sometimes I would say it was like for liability purposes, or like per seller's request, like she just wants a head count on like how many people are going to be in here. And then if they really are in the market, they'll put their full info on there. They'll put their number and their email. But sometimes they won't. And sometimes you'll get fake numbers, whatever it may be. But again, it's all a numbers game. Eventually one person that signs in will be a hit. I actually found my investment home through an open house. So she walked into my open house and like instantly connected with me. She had like some super old house that needed a lot of work, and I was like in the market right now for looking for one, and I found it. And I would have never found that if I wouldn't have done that open house. And I remember it was summer, all my friends were at the beach, and I was doing an open house for somebody else because I had texted them earlier in the week. It was not my listing, and that's what happened. So again, it's a numbers thing, but Spacio really helps you kind of stay organized. That's why we like it. But at first, if you don't want to spend the $20 a month, then don't worry about it. Just use a regular sign-in sheet piece of paper. Keep it very simple. People don't like crazy questions. Just name, number, email, that's it. And then maybe like a checkbox, like, are you in the market to buy or sell, whatever, and then they'll kind of be the guide to that. I like to stand right next to them when they sign in, just because I feel like they puts the pressure on to actually put something in there. Because if you walk away, if it's a busy open house, most likely they're just going to sign in their first name and that's it. They won't put the rest of the information in, but when you're standing there, it's very different, which is also why we recommend sometimes to do open houses with two people, whether it's a lender, so an affiliate, or another agent. First, for safety reasons, if you're a female, that's huge. But second, it's just you don't want to miss out on any solid leads. The more questions you ask people and like genuine questions, you like, how's your day? Like, oh, their kids came in with soccer clothes on and I play soccer. So it's like, oh, where do you guys play? And then like talk about anything other than real estate. Like that's huge. So that should always be your target, is to just like get in contact with them, but on like a human level first before anything, because people honestly genuinely love that. And what better opportunity than an open house? I mean, you're literally sitting there and you're casting all these leads for free, and you can get work done. So if you're also at an open house, highly encourage you to just not sit there and waste time. Like, do some work and make it worthwhile. Like, you're literally there for free. You have a free office and people are coming to you. So no excuses there again. But moving on, as far as like the apps go, there was also something right before the open house. We kind of skipped on this, but we also like to call and invite people to the open house. That's building huge credibility if they also walk in. I've had it where neighbors walk in because I'm circle dialing. So I have a system that picks up like all the numbers, and then they'll full blown, I will literally call them, like all the neighbors. And we've done that numerous times for coming soon listings. And some neighbors that I've been in touch with, like they're so thankful that I've given them this information, and they're actually curious to know how much it's gonna go for. Maybe their daughter is looking to move in the area or whatever. I've had neighbors come in and I've actually gotten a listing appointment out of it. Nothing came out of the listing appointment, but I got the listing appointment. So that's huge. So just call the neighbors around, let them know that you're having an open house. Sometimes we door knock too. So if the open house is on Saturday or Sunday, we'll door knock on Thursday or Friday and just letting them know, hey, this home's gonna be held open. If you have any friends or family members that are looking to buy or sell, blah, 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 scripts, make it your own. So that's a good chunk of it. Body language and how you look is everything too, remember that. So just make sure that you're going looking spiffy, suit tie, whatever it may be. Girls, just stay classy. Happy wife is a happy life. And yeah, just really present yourself like the professional that you are, and just remember that they're looking at you as the expert, and just always remember that, because when you're in there, even if you don't know something about the house, just be confident and say, I have no idea, but I will definitely give you the answer. And bring business cards, flyers, make your own flyers. So everything like that we talk about in this section, and we really break it down. But like I had mentioned, this is one of my favorite sections, just because I feel like it's an amazing thing to do, and it's for free, especially your first couple years. So there should be absolutely no excuse for you guys not to close at least 2 deals a year your first year if you're focusing on open houses, and that's like minimum. I'm sure you guys can do way more than that, but 2 homes your first year is still a huge hit. So get out there and do these because it's working.